Hello, and welcome back to the Healthy Soul Podcast. I'm your host, Peyton. I'm so excited and happy that you're here with me today. And on this podcast, we focus specifically on helping high-achieving women, just like yourself, take back control in their health and find a routine and a health journey that is sustainable, that's empowering, and that's truly positive, something that they can stick with for the rest of their life. And today, I want to talk all about recognizing the signs of burnout and how to know if your body is begging for more. And I feel like for so many women, we just get so familiar and we almost adapt to just being super busy all the time, always go. We're juggling multiple different responsibilities. We have our career, then we have our family life. It's the normal now. And so because of that, we just feel okay. Again, it's normalized for us to feel low on energy, to have no motivation, to have high cravings, to always feel bloated, high stress. And it's not normal. And in today's video, I want to focus all about recognizing these signs, like when and how to know if your body is giving you signs to slow down and to stop pushing so hard. And at Healthy Soul Coaching, we believe that recognizing these signs is the first step to really becoming that healthier, happier version of yourself. You have to know what your body's telling you. You have to be in tune with your body to recognize when it's time for a little bit of a rest and a little bit of a change in your routine. Burnout combined with underfueling often fly under the radar. It's something we don't really recognize that we're doing because we're just so conditioned to power through. But if you're low on energy, you just feel like something is off. Your body is just tapped out, mentally you're exhausted. Your body's not asking you to keep pushing through, to keep doing the hard things, to keep grinding it out, operating on no fuel, no sleep. It's really asking you for exactly the opposite. And when we learn to work with our bodies instead of against them, pushing them harder, continue to grind it out, we're actually building a foundation that is set up to serve us, that is more empowering, more sustainable, and therefore we're creating a long-term transformation rather than chasing some quick fix transformation. So first I want to break down what I mean when I say burnout and underfueling. Because burnout is more than just feeling tired after a long day or, resting up on the weekend. Burnout is that deep and constant exhaustion that just never goes away, even when you get, a ton of sleep. It shows up physically, emotionally, mentally. It just leaves you feeling drained. And so when you're running on empty, just trying to push through, it starts to affect everything from your mood to, yes, your energy levels to your sleep. And that's why burnout is just so dangerous, because it is all-encompassing. It has a very strong ripple effect. It starts to impact your work. It starts to impact your relationships. It starts to impact your time with your kids. Every area of your life starts to get affected when you're letting burnout take over. And then there's underfueling, which often goes hand in hand with burnout. And especially for high-achieving women who are juggling so much, underfueling happens when we're not giving our body the energy or the nutrients that we need to keep going, to keep pushing forward, and to just keep up with everything that we're asking our bodies to do. And sometimes it's not intentional. We just don't even realize that we're doing it because we're so focused on staying productive at work, getting, this many tasks done, or maybe we're focused on cutting calories because we have a weight loss goal. We actually don't even realize that we're getting less than what our body actually needs. But when we're doing this, whether it's intentional or not, we're taking away the fuel our body needs to function well. I mean, imagine trying to run a car on empty day after day. It might keep going on zero for a while, but eventually it's going to stall out. It's going to run out of gas. That's what happens with our bodies when we're not fueling it enough, because eventually this constant underfueling can slow our metabolism. It can lead to hormonal imbalances, and yes, it will lead to burnout, all of which makes living a healthy, happier life and, managing your weight a lot harder. And these two, burnout and underfueling, are very, very closely connected, and it's why I paired the two together. And when you're not fueling your body correctly, it doesn't have what it needs to recover from daily stress, to stay sharp, to keep up with the demands of daily life. And so yes, the body starts sending out signals, but if we ignore these signals, if we keep running on empty, the impact grows and it deepens. So now that we know what burnout and underfueling is from a big picture perspective, I want to talk a little bit more about the specifics, the signals that your body is sending you to know if this is something that, if this is the road that you're headed on. So first, let's talk about the physical signs. And we already kind of touched on this, but one of the biggest red flags is persistent fatigue, no matter how much sleep you got. You might have gotten like a full 8 hours and you still wake up tired, feeling like you are just dragging yourself throughout the day. Another common sign is when you get sick more often. Maybe your child comes home with a common cold cold and you just catch it every single time. You're sick every couple of weeks, every month. When your body is not getting the nutrients it needs, it's undernourished, and you're burnt out and you're under a lot of stress, your immune system starts to take a hit. Maybe you're just feeling weak, you have that muscle weakness, you just don't feel strong anymore, or strong as you used to, more soreness than you're used to, and if you're working out, maybe you feel like your muscles aren't recovering as fast. Those are the physical signs, but now we'll move on to the mental and emotional signs. Burnout and underfueling can really impact your mental clarity and your emotional stability. You might experience brain fog, a lack of focus. Maybe you're struggling to remember things more frequently. It's harder to get through tasks that used to be easy. And emotionally, you might feel more irritable or on edge, or you just snap easier. Things that normally wouldn't have bothered you start to overwhelm you and get to you a lot easier. You just find yourself getting more frustrated a lot easier, and you're not able to focus as much, and just daily life becomes a little bit harder. And finally, we'll talk about the behavioral signs, the things that we do to cope with the exhaustion and the lack of fuel. So maybe here you reach for a second cup of coffee, you reach for some sugar, you're snacking more often just to get that quick boost of energy to get you through the day. Or maybe you're ignoring hunger cues because you're so used to feeling exhausted, not really being in tune with what your body actually needs. And another one might be overworking or over-exercising your body in a way to still kind of feel in control, even when your body is telling you that it needs to slow down. All of these signs, the physical, the mental, the behavioral signs, they're all ways that your body is begging you for more fuel. It's not your body's way of telling you to keep pushing forward, because you're just going to continue to further bury yourself in this cycle. But just know that this is your body's way of telling you to slow down, that what you're doing right now is not working. And you have to be aware of these signs before you can make a change. So as you go through your day, start to point out if these are common occurrences, if this is what your body is telling you, and if so, you could be on the edge or deep into burnout and exhaustion. So now that we just talked about the signs of burnout and underfueling your body, I want to talk a little bit about why I'm actually bringing this up. Why am I making a whole video about this? What does this actually have to do with our health journey? Because a lot of the women that I work with, they do want to lose weight. That's a big part of what we do here. We help women lose fat and keep it off for good. But it's not just about the number on the scale or how much fat you can lose. It's about the way that we do it and working with our bodies instead of against it to make this journey a lot more empowering and positive and sustainable when we're focused on nourishment over just cutting calories and doing a bunch of cardio, which is the typical approach. It's because a lot of you might have done that strategy already. You're eating less, you're moving more, you saw some results at first, maybe you're in a plateau, or maybe it was super hard to stick with. And actually that cycle is further putting you in another cycle and deeper into the cycle of burnout and exhaustion. So we have to take a step back and understand, what do you actually need? What is your body telling you you need? And let's create a strategy around that. So with metabolism and our energy, when we are underfueling, especially for long periods of time, our metabolism, our metabolic rate, how many calories our body burns on a daily basis, starts to adapt to this number, to this lower number, and it slows down. Because you're underfueling as well, not only does your metabolism slow down, but likely you are putting your body under a lot of physical stress, which is what causes the burnout, so your cortisol stays elevated. Essentially, when your metabolism adapts, it's trying to conserve as much energy as possible because it needs fuel to function. And over time, this can make losing weight feel especially hard, feel nearly impossible. Your body needs a steady flow of nutrients to keep your metabolism working properly. And when you're working with it, you're giving your body what it needs. It doesn't feel the need to conserve energy, and it can keep us moving along, feeling healthy, burning calories efficiently, just able to meet the demands of daily life without crashing. Therefore, it becomes a lot easier to lose weight and to keep it off when our metabolism is working properly. Then there's the hormone balance aspect of things. Our bodies rely on our diets, what we put in our body every single day, a nourishing diet to keep our hormones in check. More specifically, we'll talk about our cortisol. And when we are underfueling, maybe we're eating the right foods or healthy foods, but we're not eating enough food. Not only does, yes, our metabolism adapt, but like I mentioned earlier, our cortisol can spike too. High cortisol levels, which is our stress hormone, can not only come from underfueling, but also the demands of life that we're already putting ourselves through, which has caused this burnout and exhaustion in the first place, whether it's from work or personal responsibilities, or it's a combination of both underfueling and the mental stress of life. High cortisol levels can lead to feelings of anxiety. It can further worsen fatigue. It can disrupt our sleep, and it can increase fat storage around our abdomen abdomen area. Ultimately, it creates a domino effect. When our hormones are off, it starts to impact our mood and our physical health. Everything gets affected. And this is why fueling our bodies with more food and more of the right food specifically is so important to support these deeper processes that keep us energized, that keep us going, and that keeps us stable. And then there's the impact on our mental health, our mental clarity. Our brains need a good amount of fuel. It needs a good balance of protein, carbs, and fat. And it needs this to be able to function at its best, to be able to function the most optimally, to avoid brain fog, to get us through our days, to help us stay productive, calm, and energized. So when you're having trouble staying focused or you are experiencing brain fog, your brain likely isn't getting the nutrients that it needs. You're probably underfueling. Proper fuel makes it a heck of a lot easier to stay focused, to stay motivated, and to actually enjoy what you're doing. So what it all comes down to is giving your body more, not pushing it through its limits, actually giving your body what it needs, listening to your body's signals, understanding these signals, and reflecting and moving forward, creating a new plan of action. This is really the foundation for long-term health and wellness. When we start to see these things, food and rest, as just parts of our journey and really start to, focus more on nourishment, we go from surviving in our day-to-day lives to truly thriving in our day-to-day lives. We're no longer just getting by. We're actually building a life and a journey that feels sustainable, that we can be consistent in, that is positive, that is empowering, and that gets us to our goals and helps us to live a healthier, happier life. That's the true end goal. When you listen to your body and you give it what it needs, it works with you. When you ignore your body's signals, you don't give it what it needs, it works against you. So if you're noticing these signs of burnout and underfueling, know that it's okay to slow down and to give your body what you need, because if you don't, you're only going to deepen this detrimental cycle. It's okay, you have the permission to make fueling your body and taking care of yourself a priority. You truly do deserve it. And if you are recognizing these things, it's not a setback. If anything, this is an important piece of your journey. You can be aware of it. You know what's going on and you can move past it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment below or message me if any of this resonated. I would love to hear from you, especially if this is something that you feel the effects of. I would love to open up this conversation and just create a very supportive environment in the comment section, or head over to my Instagram at Trainer Peyton, because we are all about positivity there. Feel free to message me. My DMs are always open. I would love to just be able to support you in any way that I can. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on the Healthy Soul podcast. I will see you next time. Bye.